I was born in Bristow, small town, and I went through all my educational all the way up to college in Oklahoma. And then during college, I discovered it wasn't right for me, and I had met an Oklahoma girl from Miami my very first day of college. So when I joined the military, I wound up coming home, probably every other weekend to Oklahoma, just to spend time with her. I joined as a plumber, and then I had to fight and claw my way to get promoted so I could go Special Forces. So that took a couple of years, and once I went Special Forces, I went from an E3 to an E6 in about a year and a half, which is nearly unheard of. But that was a lot of fun, and Special Forces opened a lot of doors to me. I deployed quite a bit, and I got to knock out some really great schools. You know, you do the airborne thing. You went back and did Ranger training, door kicking, breaching, all the cool stuff, sniping. I got to do it. It sounds cool, but the actual mission downrange, laying in a sniper hide for days on end, getting frostbite, isn't as cool as it looks on the movies. But I enjoyed every moment of Special Forces. I did all my deployments as a Special Forces engineer, and it was a great time. I was very blessed to be some of the first teams into Afghanistan and Iraq. So we were there wearing blue jeans and beards with the mission statement of do the best you can. And we went out and did the best we could, and it was mission success every time. It's a great time. After my service in the military, I was medically retired. And being medically retired can be interesting, especially a long time ago when I was retired. There was no closure. You go from a door kicker, gunslinger, infantryman, whatever you are that day to the next day, you're broken, you're hurt, and you lose your identity because you're no longer Special Forces, infantry, whatever. So it's a situation in which you're lost. And after combat, that brotherhood's severed, and it's really hard. And so I got involved with a couple of programs and volunteered. It's been a blast. Last year alone, I was able to help give away about $8 million worth of scholarships. This year we're up to about $11 million. And my job is to travel around and find applicants to give that money to. So I get to meet these guys on the best day of their life when they're receiving support. And I meet donors on the best day of their lives where they're giving support and they're happy and they feel blessed to do that. So that relieved my soul of a lot of burden. And I realized that unless you're combat wounded, there was no service for you. So you can be special operations, you can have 15 deployments, 7, 10 years on the ground overseas. That's great, but there's not a service for you. Over time, everybody has their breaking point. So I wanted to fill this gap. And to do that, I started the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors. And we focus primarily on special operations and the valorous. We also love to help prisoners of war and the combat wounded. But what's really unique about us is we'll help anybody that needs help. And you know, we have parents call us up that say, hey, my son hasn't came out of the basement since he's been back. Well, we're an adventure-based program. So what's your son like to do? Well, he used to like to pheasant hunt, or he used to like to skydive. Well, let's set up that event, have him out. And so we bring these warriors back together with other warriors over an adventure. With an adventure-based program, these guys show up, they have a great time, they have a shared experience, and it's wonderful. Often these guys want to get involved. They see the change, they feel the change, and they say, hey, I've got buddies that need this change. And they accept the few as their new mission. Last month alone, we had 52 warriors in the field on a shoestring budget. It's wonderful. Time-consuming, but wonderful.